Welcome everyone. So the other day I did a poll on both my private Facebook group as well as my Instagram to see what people needed the most right now and what their interests were. And the number one response I got was moving for stress reduction. I mean, that was probably a given. We are in a global pandemic. So I wanted to share with you this very simple, very short seated sequence that focuses on core breathing as well as gentle movement. So a lot of the times when we feel stressed, we automatically kind of tighten everything in the trunk, especially the front of the belly. And what we want to do in this practice is try to bring some awareness to this area and allow for a little bit of softness and subtleness so that we can allow the diaphragm to do its job by getting that full expansion. And there's a lot of research behind core breathing, diaphragmatic breath, and the benefits of that. I'm not going to go there in this specific video. I do have a video on that. So if you are interested in learning more about that, just let me know and I can send it right to you. But I just wanted to, guide you through something simple. I wanted to help you maybe find a little bit of ease in your day. So I hope that this practice brings you a little bit of comfort and it kind of gets you a little bit more into that rest and digest state and a little bit out of the parasympathetic state that we've all been in for so long. So what you're gonna do is find a nice cross-legged seat position. You can sit on a pillow, and you can also do this on a chair if you like, if sitting on the ground isn't comfortable. You option to have a mat. You can also just sit on the floor. So wherever you are, stop, drop, and sit. So all I want you to do here is, starting in your seated position, I want you to close your eyes. And if that feels comfortable, close the eyes. And all I want you to do is draw your attention to your belly. And for right now, we'll stick specifically with the front of the belly. I find sometimes it helps to place my hands directly on my belly, and I can allow the hands to be a little bit of external feedback for me to breathe into. So as you inhale through the nose, see if you can fill up your palms. And then as you exhale, you'll start to feel your belly start to go back to that starting position. So it can be a lot for me to ask you to completely relax your belly if you have been pulling your belly in. I feel like it's a direct response to stress to kind of hold on to that tension. I do it all the time, but sometimes just allowing for moments of stillness where we can draw our attention. And it feels so good to let it relax. So throughout this little sequence, maybe you remember to relax the belly, maybe you don't. It's totally fine. So what we're gonna do, you're just gonna start to hinge at your hips, and we're gonna come into a little bit of a fold here. And again, you can also prop a pillow underneath the forearms. It's not about how far you go to the ground. So I'm not really interested in getting you to fold in half. I just want you to allow for a little bit of rounding in your spine. And then as you come into this position, see if you can draw your attention to your low back. So as I was saying, this little sequence is going to be quite simple in the way that we kind of hold these shapes and focus on breathing into the trunk, into the belly. And now what we're trying to do is breathe into the low back. And so see if you can start to feel the breath three-dimensionally wrapping around your midsection. Just finding a little bit of release, a little bit of tension release into the low back. And we'll take 2 more breaths. In and out of your nose. And then take your time. We're going to gently press up. And then from here, pretty straightforward, you're just going to turn over to the left or the right. So a little bit of rotation, doesn't have to be a lot. You're going to start to hinge at your hip. Now you're going to feel a stretch through the opposite side of your hip, your low back, your waist. And again, you don't have to fold all the way in half. So we're just going a little bit on a diagonal, getting a different kind of angle. And same thing, I want you to focus on breathing through that lengthened side of the body. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Relaxing the muscles in your belly. And just noticing how when you breathe into that lengthened side, the stretch kind of happens, the release kind of happens. So instead of necessarily having to go deeper to go into our stretches, we can allow for this diaphragmatic breathing to encourage release. So that we activate the rest and digest state of the nervous system. That's our relaxed state. Great, and then we're just gonna slowly release. We're gonna come out of that. Use your hands if you need to. Take your right or left arm out to the side, doesn't really matter. We'll switch, just remember so that we switch next time. And we're gonna just take a very traditional side bend stretch here. And if you have the flexibility range of motion, you can come on to the forearm. For me, that doesn't feel the most comfortable, so I'm just gonna stay up on my hand. And then again, so the same side, we're stretching, we're lengthening, but we're using the breath. So I want you to inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, but see if you can inflate the lengthened side. So we're using more of the breath to release tension. And we're adding stillness because I think we all need a little bit more stillness right now. And then we'll come back to center. And then you're gonna go into that rotation on the opposite side. So I'm gonna rotate over to my opposite knee, and we're just slightly starting to hinge forward. It's not a very deep range of motion here. One of my forearms actually hovers a little bit, and that's fine. Like, you don't have to go into complete forward fold to feel the effects of this. And then again, I'm gonna focus on really breathing into that opposite waist. And I can even feel how the breath starts to release my low back on the side. It's so delicious. Again, if you have trouble directing your breath into these areas, you can take your hand and place it. And that might help for what we call proprioception. So having something for feedback and breathing into that can be a nice, gentle way of trying to find that, feel that. And if you've never relaxed your belly before, and you're like, I can't do it, it's not working, that's totally fine. If this is something that's new to you, it's gonna take time. And then we'll come back to center. And we're gonna lengthen that same side again by coming into the side bend stretch. I'm gonna stay on my hand. You can come onto your forearm. We're gonna reach the arm up and overhead. Doesn't have to be a huge side bend here. Just enough that you can create some space and length into the side of your waist. I even imagine like my ribs, my rib cage are expanding and pulling apart at the same time. Sometimes visuals help too. Let's take one more cycle of breath. And then we'll come back to center and just take your hands, rest them on your lap, whatever feels comfortable. Let's take 3 cycles of breath. See if you can relax your belly even more. See if you can tune into sensation in those areas that we stretched through breath. I can really feel some nice sensation in the side of my waist, in my back. And just taking as many breaths as you need and tapping into hopefully these feel-good sensations. So thank you so much for joining me in this little short sequence. If you want to know more about this type of breathing work, I do have a free 5-part online yoga and movement mini series. When you subscribe to my email list, you get that directly to your inbox. You can download the videos and keep them forever. They're short practice videos. So yeah, if you have any questions about anything about this practice, please let me know. I would love to help you cope and manage your stress right now. So thanks for practicing along. Let me know what you thought, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.